Hello, aloha, welcome everyone. It's Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming at you live Friday night for me. Wherever you're out in the world, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, whatever you celebrated or not celebrated right now. And I just got a text from Walt. He will not be on moderating right now. It's really cool. He just lets me know what he's doing right when the live stream's happening. So that's cool. If you're watching after the fact, I'm glad you're doing social things. We didn't do anything social this holiday, whatever you want to call it, refer to it as. We're both kind of sick. I didn't want to get anyone ill. Angie, like after last Friday's live stream, she felt like, oh, maybe I'm getting a sore throat, and woke up Saturday morning. Yep, she had something. And me, ever since like Wednesday, I've had like just like a low grade cold. It didn't turn into a full on cold like when Angie had, but it's just I can feel. I just feel a little run down, blowing my nose a little bit more. The night before, like Tuesday night, I felt a little scratchiness in my throat. I go, oh man, that's the warning sign that I'm going to wake up with this gnarly sore throat and everything. And thank heavens it didn't turn into that, but it just turned into like a low grade dumb cold, and I didn't want to get my mom sick, so here I am chilling. I didn't leave the house. Well, I did leave the house yesterday. I did run to the market to get some plant-based milk. I ran out. Welcome everyone. Vegan Metalhead renewed his membership. Been a member for 30 months. You dozed off on your computer. Worked on your computer late last night. Wow. And AJ, hey AJ, you got flu, shingles, and COVID shots. I felt sore and run down the next day. Yeah, I got my COVID booster like maybe 3 weeks ago. So I don't think that's what I'm feeling right now. I actually feel absolutely nothing after. I mean, nothing. Totally normal. Like it never even happened. I know in the past maybe had some mild symptoms of like a cold for half a day or something like that. But no, totally nothing. And usually Angie feels weird too, and nothing for her too. So I still haven't done the flu or shingles yet. I was just lucky to rush out and get the that one I got. So anyway. Cool, Varleys, you booked for your, cool, you got 2 jabs booked on Monday. Hopefully, yeah, I just didn't do enough research on the flu vaccine. I'm pretty sure there's no animal bits in it, unlike in the past or something like that. And you guys did forewarn me about shingles, and I've been so busy, I just said, let me just get the COVID one, I'll deal with flu and maybe shingles later. So anyway, so the shingles one knocks you out for a day, Sarah. Wow. But yeah, we didn't do anything. Well, we made food. I don't know if you guys are following Angie's shorts here on YouTube or Instagram or wherever. She posted her the 7 vegan items she made for Thanksgiving yesterday, and crafted a whole little song, an AI-generated song about it too. But anyway, yeah, we ate pretty well, just the 2 of us. But yeah, we didn't go visit anyone. Didn't want to get my mom sick. And Angie's family met last week on Sunday, right when Angie was in the thick of her cold. So anyway, we just stayed home and actually worked on a song. You guys know we're releasing a new song. I showed you some of it last week. It still hasn't been on Apple Music, and I think there's an issue, so we got to get in touch with them. But it's on Spotify and all the others. But it's a bummer because I use Apple Music all the time, so it doesn't feel totally real because I can't just listen to it. But Sarah, I'm like, yeah, low grade cold is what I've been calling it. I felt all the symptoms like come, but they didn't like escalate to the next level. I felt like a sore, scratchy throat, but it didn't go to the next level. I had some stuffed up nose and sinus feelings, but didn't go to the next level. If you could score like a cold on a scale of like 1 to 10, it's like a 2. You can feel it. It's not normal. I don't feel normal, but I don't feel like incapacitated. I could have gone to the gym today and played basketball maybe, but I decided not to. Because, I like to go on normal Fridays, and today's like a holiday Friday, so it's going to be crowded, and I don't like it when it's crowded. I just like to go and do my warm-up and just play a few little quick games or without having the pressure of having 30 other people there fighting for the court. And plus, my ankle's been a little sore. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't injure it or anything, but last time I was at the gym, I was doing some running on the court towards the end of my workout, and just my ankle just all of a sudden felt sore for nothing. So I just stopped, and it's not been perfect since. So I thought it'd be prudent for those various reasons. Cold. So if I had to play games, I wouldn't be that energetic. There'd probably be a ton of guys there. I'm just not ready for that right now. I just don't want to deal with that. And my ankle. So I stayed home today. So thanks, guys. I am getting slowly better. Sir, your courts were packed with families today. What kind of courts are you talking about there? Just like outdoor basketball and tennis court areas, families hanging out? Let's see. Advent calendars? What's that, Varlas? I have not heard of that. Let's see. Howard. Yeah, about the flu vax. I knew that was true in the past about how there's some chicken egg protein thing or something like that. But I'm not sure if that's still true for the modern 2024 flu vaccine. So I got to research that. I thought like a lot of you guys told me that it's not like that anymore. Okay, the basketball courts at your gym. Okay, wow, families there? Wow. So that's what I want to do. I still want to deal with a bunch of nonsense. I like to go and warm up and work out in my own way and then play some games after. But I knew today I'd just be forced to be playing games right away. I'm just not in the mood today with my illness and ankle. What's an advent calendar? You knew what that was, Sarah? Oh, hey, Peter, you might not be on, but saying hi. Ooh, it's going to be scary because Uncle Walt said he's busy today. So what do you guys know? Howard's saying it's tough to find a vegan flu vaccine, a non-egg based one. What do you guys say? How about you guys that have looked into it and got shots? What kind of research can you guys share with me on that? Okay, I didn't know what these things, Advent, is that related to Adventists? It's a calendar that counts down to Christmas. And is it an Advent calendar because it's part of the like Seventh-day Adventists or something? But I guess I didn't know anything. I don't know anything about that. Wow, that sounds interesting, Blood Rose. A nice chili. That sounds delicious. Yeah, yeah, we had our vegan leftovers today. Leftovers are weird, it's kind of cold and not always good, but I don't mind it. But yeah, we'll probably have something a little more or less holiday tonight. Okay, I didn't know anything about these calendars, guys. You guys are educating me about something I've not ever seen before. At least I don't recall. Hey, Johnny Bravo's here. And Graven is here too. Awesome. But yeah, it didn't really seem like much of a holiday. Ate some vegan holiday-ish food that Angie spent a long time working on, and then worked on music. Hey Johnny, thanks for the super chat tip there. Thank you so much. Going all right, all things considered. You might not stay the entire stream, but got some personal stuff going on. Cool, totally cool. I think yesterday what worked out, which I'm most grateful for, is that I found things to be grateful for, which is always a good thing. That's why it's called Thanksgiving, even though you guys know I've been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. It's still able to put those things aside, and hey, I have all the things I'm grateful for. It's instead of dwelling on things that are the negatives in your life, pissing you off, bumming you out, that kind of stuff, you can push those aside, and hey, here's the things that are working out good for me. And we even opened up a bottle of Sonoma County rosé wine that we bought earlier in the year, waiting for a day where it felt festive enough to have it. And I haven't been feeling too good about things. Hey, let's toast today. Things are going so great. And also, rosé wine pairs really well with warm weather. And when we ate yesterday at 2:30, it was 72 degrees or something like that. So it felt like a summer afternoon. Feeling good. So that was good. So we had some good moments there. And then we worked on a song that we'll probably have coming out early next year. I've just been doing my thing, and I think that's what makes me feel good is be able to do the things that I've set myself up to do as a professional media producer and overseer. If I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, I get bummed out. So it's just good to just focus on what I like doing. And I like doing these live streams, and I like making music and producing songs. Anyway, so what are you guys talking about there? Let's see. Let's see, what'd you do, Jessica? You had a great vegan day today. Your family and I got your Christmas tree. Cool. Wreaths, pine. That sounds nice. That sounds like it smells nice. Advent calendars originated in Germany. So, hey, Jesse, so you guys, how come everyone knows about Advent calendars? Angie, are you still there? Do you know what, have you heard of Advent calendars? Because I am like 57 years old, and either I don't know what they are, or I learned about them and forgot about them over time, but everyone else seems to know what Advent calendars are. GGP, ways to reduce fiber in a vegan diet? My aunt said she can't go vegan because it's too much fiber. What does that even mean? How does she know it has too much fiber? Tell your aunt that around 90% of Americans, that's 9 out of 10 people in this country, and I'm sure most other, like, first world or developed nations worldwide, 9 out of 10 people are fiber deficient. So it might behoove her, it might be good for your aunt GGP to actually get too much fiber, so she actually might meet the FDA minimum requirements or guidelines for how much fiber intake a person should have. So not sure why she'd be afraid of fiber, since to throw a dart at 10 people, at a crowd of 10 people, the odds of hitting a fiber deficient person are really high, 90%. Hey, AJ, thank you so much. Thank you for the feeling better fund. Yeah, I'm trying to feel better, and I feel a bit better. Just trying to get over this dumb little cold and all. But thanks, AJ. Appreciate it all. Thanks, AJ and Johnny, for your guys' super chat tips. And Giovanni has not heard of Advent calendars too, so I don't feel so out of it. So Angie, yeah, I've seen the Advent calendars before. You pop open the doors and see something each day. You think BTS sold one a few years ago? Okay, so I'm just out of it. I don't know why my life has never encountered, at least doesn't recall encountering Advent calendars. But oh well, shows you how much I really I'm not like anti-Christmas or anything, but I'm not like super pro-Christmas either. So, I'm not really looking out for stuff like that. So, yeah, I could have seen them and just blocked them out because, I wasn't really like thinking or caring about it at the time. That could be it. So, Howard, about your most likely fiber deficient aunt who's afraid of fiber, tell her it will get better over time. It takes the body a while to get used to a large influx of fiber. Yeah, it's not like I don't think, unless she has some weird disease that I've never heard of. I've never heard of people who are fiber intolerant, like gluten resistant, fiber resistant. I've not heard of such a thing. Yeah, it'll take a while. It's just a matter of your gut microbiome adapting to the new food. If you're going to eat more fiber than ever before, if you're not eating a bunch of fiber, think about it, your gut microbiome is not adapted to having a bunch of microbacteria ready to process fiber because you're not putting a hell of a lot of fiber in. So yeah, it just takes a little time. The gut biome adapts rapidly. So yeah, it might be a weird first few days or so. After a week or two, she should have a pretty good gut microbiome for fiber. So it's not your gut microbiome isn't permanent. It's a very dynamic, adaptable thing from what I've understood about it. Anyway, it's a continuous countdown to Christmas. I'm just reading all your comments right now, so don't worry about me. I'm just saying what you guys are all saying. You guys are talking about the Advent calendars anyway that I've not seen. I think I know what you're talking about. Just like I said, I just never said, "Hey, oh my God, there's an Advent calendar! Awesome!" I just never was looking for one in the first place. I'm like you. I'm with you there, Sarah, too. Most of us here in the live stream are probably like that. Our guts, our microbiomes are just primed for fiber. Let's see. It's actually getting a little cool in here. I thought it'd be warm with all the lights on. This room does get kind of cozy. in a warm sense. I'm gonna flip my little sweater, or what are you, flannel on sweater. I need some sweaters, huh? That would be cool. The name could be a lot more obvious than an advent calendar, right? Like, what is an advent even? You know, what does that word even mean? I've heard of Adventist. I don't even, like, you know, Seventh-day Adventist. What does advent mean? What is an advent so you can be an Adventist? I don't know this stuff. Is that a Christian related thing or a Christmas related thing? Maybe. I just wonder. Oh, Sarah, thanks for the gummy tips. I bought one right. I think Friday after the live stream, I went and got a little tin can of gummies. It's like equal parts CBD, THC, and CBN, which I wasn't too aware. I haven't learned too much about CBN, but I know all about CBD. They're these, like, they're the little gummies, and they're. You cut them you should cut them in half, because if you take a whole one, it's 10 micrograms each of CBD, THC, and CBN. And I've been splitting them with Angie, you know, and they're kites. They make you mellow, go to sleep. It's all good. It's really nice. That's if you split them, so you have basically a 5 milligram dose of each. Well, one night I said, well, you know, let's just have a whole one, see what that's like, you know, because, you know, you barely feel anything with 5, you know, so if you double it to 10, you'd think it just would up it a little bit. It was like, wow, no, I really felt that. So, that was an experience, you know, like a edible type of experience. I've had crazier ones, but 5, it's funny how you don't really feel much at 5, just kind of chill and want to go to sleep. But if you have the whole thing, 10 milligrams, wow, you're just awake, and wow, I'm feeling lots of psychedelic kind of feelings right now. So anyway, Giovanna, that's how I feel too. If you have 5 milligrams of THC, you probably won't feel much. But if you get 10, that's when the action starts happening, at least in my brain. I got one that's designed for sleep, but the thing is, it has equal parts of all 3 of those cannabinoids. So, you know, even though it has CBD, the THC will give you a little uppity bit. But anyway, it's all good. That was a few nights ago. Anyway, yeah, that's a good brand too. Thanks for that suggestion. Yeah, I see that they have production here in California. God, what's the name of their brand again? I forgot that one I got. It was your recommendation. God, what is it? It wasn't Wild. It was the other one. But yeah, they produce here in California, so that's why. Yeah, sorry, you have to get the California made ones. You have to get the California branded ones. You know, you have to come into the state. So hopefully that's not too tough for you. Hopefully there's a dispensary near the border or something like that. Caminos, that's the brand. Okay. Okay, so Varlis is giving me some info here about what an Advent is. Let's see. Well, Howard has it first. Advent, the first season of the Christian church year leading up to Christmas, and including the 4 preceding Sundays. See, I did not know that. Varla says it's a Christian season of preparation and expectation for Christmas. Well, Sarah, if a person were to take the full 10 milligram one I got there, it's just too much. You're not going to go to sleep right away. I highly recommend, having no more than 5 milligrams for sleep, because that is great. 5 milligrams of THC, CBD, perfect blend. But unfortunately, you have to cut them in half. But one night we said, hell, let's be adventurous, take the whole 10 milligrams, and that was a bit much. Gummies take a while to work. I mean, all edible cannabis takes a little bit to actually, digest and all that stuff. It's not like smoking, which is instant, basically. So it takes about an hour, I would say. It probably peaks about 2 hours after ingesting, something like that. So that's the trouble a lot of people get into when taking edibles. They'll have one, they'll sit around 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't feel anything, have another one. And then they just have this, then it all hits them at once, and they're like tripping balls and seeing Quetzalcoatl and the snake's winged serpent and everything in the sky. It's just too much. So yeah, be careful with that kind of stuff. Just be patient is what I'm trying to say. That's cool, Sarah. If you make it to California, you can stock up. That's cool. A full vegan brand. When I was looking online, yeah, it's quite easy to find gummies, but a lot of them use gelatin. So it's great to see one that on the packaging says, vegan. And if you look at the ingredients, yeah, it's all the kinds of gelatin, like a plant-based gelatin that you see. If you see any kind of vegan gelatin or vegan gummy, that's what they use, something like that. So that's cool. Yeah, I could use some tonight. I'm feeling pretty chill though today's. Yeah, that's an interesting theory or strategy, Sarah, is to take the gummies, and then try to fall asleep before you feel any of the high feelings. And that seems like a reasonable way to do it, because yeah, they do make you mellow. So if you can get to sleep, yeah, great. But yeah, if you, I think honestly though, if you stick with 5 milligrams, don't do anything over like that. Definitely don't do 10 milligrams of THC, whatever your blend is between the different cannabinoids. I think 5 is great for sleeping, and you really shouldn't feel much of anything. But 10, you feel it. So anyway, yeah, the Wilds are vegan too. I didn't see them at any of the local places around here. I just found one that I could walk to. Literally, I just took like a short walk, grabbed some Friday night, got back. I'm spoiled in that sense. I can just walk and get some California-made gummies. Okay, Carl adds some more context. When they got their name, the Seventh-day Adventists believed that the return of Christ was imminent. The word Advent means the arrival of a notable person, thing, or event. Yeah, okay, thanks for sharing that. Johnny says, I should look into Joey Diaz. He takes 200 milligrams of THC like it's no problem. Well, first of all, that'd be really, really expensive. That would be the entire thing I bought that night, Let's see. Now it'd be more, because that would be, let's see, 10, I'd only have 100 milligrams, so that'd be like $50 just to do one thing that he's doing, and you don't even feel it. That's an awful waste of money. So it's better to be in my situation where you can nibble on something that costs you like $2 and, or $1 and you feel it. Yeah, not $1, more like $2-3. Yeah, GGP. Yeah, increased heart rate is a I don't know, a reaction or a normal thing that happens. As long as it doesn't get too high, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of ironic. A lot of people think it makes you more relaxed or chill, and it does do that. But it does have the physiological effect of affecting heart rate. No, that's cool, Sarah. They have a special on Wednesdays. It's funny, I got it on Friday. Then I got a text Saturday from them. Hey, if you come in today and buy 2 more and get like 20% off. Like, I just bought 1. I'm not in a position to go back and buy like double what I just bought last night. That was a funny way to try to tempt me back in. That's too bad that cannabis is illegal there. That sucks, Varlas. That sucks. People shouldn't go to jail. I've said that many times for smoking a plant. There's no crime, especially if you grow it yourself or a friend grows it or something like that. It's a victimless crime. So it's not even a crime if there's no victim. Yeah, melatonin. Angie's been keeping that by the side of the bed for a long time. Yeah, he has a very high THC tolerance. He's popping 200 milligram. They make 200 milligram THC gummies, really? Like, I tell you, the 10s were like perfectly powerful enough for me. I can't imagine needing to take 20 of them. That's some tolerance. Yeah, it was a good deal, Sarah, but I just wasn't in the market right then, since I just bought some like less than 12 hours before they sent me that text. I totally understand, Sarah. Where you grew up at, yeah, you got to know a little bit about weed, right? But yeah, I'll probably enjoy one tonight. I didn't have one last night. So, I've been doing them kind of like every other night lately. And I like the taste of them, too. It's really cool. It's that tastes like a gummy combined with like a THC edible. It's an interesting combo. I've never had gummies all these years. I've had edibles a few times. Not a huge fan, but I really like these THC CBD gummies. I'm digging them. Oh, Jessica, you don't have to do CBD or anything like that. I'm just saying, yeah. Sarah suggested it because she knew I was having some issues sleeping, and per her recommendations from her experience, she thought she'd pass the info on to me. Yeah, and I concur. I'm 57. I never did CBD gummies my entire life that I can recall, and it was a worthwhile experiment. And yeah, I like it. I'll be doing more most likely. Yeah, what a funny topic we wandered into, huh? Drugs and CBD gummies and herbs and stuff, huh? So, yeah. Hopefully, how's my energy tonight, guys? Do I seem a little mellow because because of my little cold and stuff like that? Wow, you've never done weed or anything related to that, but you've used some harder stuff. Funnily enough, that's interesting. They say weed is the stepping stone or whatever, It's like, huh. But, yeah, there's no impetus, no necessity to do anything weed or harder or anything. Wouldn't be straight edge. Totally cool. Cool, AJ. I might seem fine, but I just feel like it requires more energy and effort to speak and read. I think that's because I'm vegan, right? No, it's because you have this low grade cold going on. Hey, Aga from Poland, awesome. Let's see, Johnny, too bad you don't have a THC tolerance, considering you're not allowed to use it. Yeah, I guess since you're not putting THC into your brain regularly, probably one gummy will send you off, like big time. Okay, cool. I'm glad my energy seems fine. I was wondering. I guess often you guys see me here on Fridays. I'm pretty chill from the gym. You always see me when I'm tired. It's like either I worked out hard at the gym, or in today's instance, I have a low-grade cold. So anyway. Wow, Nikki, you're the only person born and raised in Portland, Oregon, and never used weed. You might very well be, Nikki. I'm serious. You might be. Yeah, Carl, I just need some anti-vegan knucklehead to wander in here to wake me up, right? Where's an anti-vegan? Are anyone watching in the background, just kind of lurking and just waiting and biding your time, and you want to come out here and tell me how I'm a horrible person because I don't have animals killed for me to eat and stuff? I mean, just come out. If you're holding back, don't hold back. Share your thoughts with us as to why you think a life choice I made for myself to avoid animal cruelty and exploitation is such a horrible thing for a human like myself to be doing. So let me know. Yeah, trolls are wanted. I want to see what kinds of arguments or examples are used to show how that's such a horrible thing. Yeah, cold just they're energy sappers, It's not like it's like a horrible thing to get, but it just makes things a little more just difficult. Now, I didn't hear about Trump threatening to invade Mexico. I've made a point to not read all the headlines about all the crap he says, because he's just freestyling it most of the time, I think, just making stuff up, and who knows if any of it's going to be followed up upon. I hope most none of it is, but inviting Mexico would just be totally stupid. I thought I already had a conversation with their president. She agreed somehow to try to stop the influx of immigrants from the southern border or something like that. But yeah, he just shouts nonsense, and I don't have time for nonsense. I got tons of crap going on in my life, good and bad. Like today, I've been working on music most of the day. Spent the morning looking for online. I haven't leave my house all day other than to throw cat poop outside. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, looking for some Black Friday deals, but I didn't find the deals I was looking for. I was thinking about upgrading my AirPods. I've really become a big fan of AirPod Pros. I really enjoy their noise cancellation features. I've come to learn I probably have a condition. It's a diagnosed in some people, but I forgot what it is. Just people that are sensitive to a lot of sound and stimulation around them. It makes us feel anxious. Maybe it's called being introverted. I'm not sure. Like, say when I'm walking to from the parking lot to go to Disneyland, I want to put them in when I'm walking through the park to get somewhere that a lot of people. I just feel more chill if I don't have to hear all the crap and just more in my own world. I don't even need music playing necessarily. Just to have like 30 decibels of noise reduction is a godsend, for people like myself. So yeah, I saw the AirPods 2, which Angie has, are better at noise cancellation than the original ones, and they're like $90 off right now at Target and Best Buy. On top of that, I was reading on Reddit how a lot of people could log into their Target app and get an additional like $30 off, like for being a Target Circle member or something like that. And I wasn't getting one. They said like not everyone was getting it. Your mileage may vary. They're saying, I'm going, man, if I could get them for like $129, I'm so down to get the upgraded AirPods, but I couldn't do it, and I didn't want to fork out $155 plus tax. So I just kept my old AirPods. They work. But you know about it too, huh? They give you ear infections. Oh, I'm lucky I haven't had that. You know what I'm talking about, Heidi. Yeah, noise cancellation. It's just good if you just want to not hear loud sounds. Like say you're riding on a bus, airplane, reducing the ambient noise 30 decibels is great. Yeah, highly sensitive person. I think that's what Angie and I were. Sensitive people. You regular folks who aren't sensitive people probably aren't bothered when you're walking by a large group of people and they're being loud, or if there's a bunch of people behind you just talking. I go, why do I know everything about this dude's life? Why is he just sharing? I don't want to hear all this crap. I just want to be in my world. I don't want to be in your world. I just want to do my thing. So yeah, for people like us, the AirPods with noise cancellation or any kind of noise canceling, not Bose, tons of other companies make them, but I didn't get them. Yeah, I couldn't get the total bargain deal I was looking for. Actually, mine worked pretty well, but I know the new ones are even better, and anyway. It's Ryan's world. Everyone's just living in it. No, not like that. I don't want to be living in other people's worlds. I'm telling you, I know what their cousin's name is, where their cousin works at, and what they're doing. I just don't care. I don't give a shit. Why you guys went to jail last week. I don't want to hear your stories. I don't want to know. So anyway, I'll stick with my original AirPod ones. And hopefully I won't regret it. Hopefully the batteries won't start dying or anything like that, because they are pretty old. But that's how I am. I ride stuff out until they're not useful anymore. You guys might remember my headphones. I had a pair that looked cosmetically exactly like these headphones. I wore them all the time on the live streams. But you may notice I had duct tape, I was gluing them, I was doing all sorts of stuff, and they finally died. I mean, I was getting there. I got to the point where I was soldering wires inside, and it got to a point where I couldn't even keep up with that anymore. It just got to a point where it was beyond my skill set to repair. So I got these replica ones. They don't sound as good as my 1987 ones of the same kind, but those 87 ones were made in Austria. These were made in China, and I'm sure they changed the design a lot since then. Star Cradle, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you don't even have to be a sensitive person to be annoyed when you're having to hear people talk on their cell phones. No, Bluetooth doesn't cause cancer. I know there's certain radical people in the wellness influencer world that say all sorts of things cause cancer. Any kind of wireless radiation causes Wi-Fi, cellular, all kinds. 5G is the worst because it's the newest one, but 4G, LTE, all that stuff, 3G. Bluetooth. I mean, it's a known fact that these things, the technologies behind cellular phones have been in musicians' wireless Like, if you've seen guys on stage with their in-ear monitors that are wireless, or guitar players playing with a little pack on them so they can jump around the stage, without being encumbered by guitar cables. I mean, these technologies have been around for decades. They're not cancer causing, but I know a lot of people like to demonize things that they can't see. You can't see 5G, you can't see Wi-Fi, you can't see Bluetooth. So I know, and so there's certain circles that are that demonize the unknowable, understandable stuff. But no, Bluetooth is not going to give you you shouldn't get cancer from Bluetooth. I'm not a doctor, but that's what I understand. Yeah, the sun is related to cancer. It can cause skin cancers and stuff. So I guess you got to look at the risks of them. I guess anything could cause cancer. But again, look at the risks of them. Adam, no, those guys will never take back what they said about veganism. Why should they? They're complete narcissist sociopath types that believe everything that they shit out of their mouth is fact. Who cares what actual evidence and evidence-based information and truth says? No, just my opinion. There's actually, there's no way. It's immeasurable what animal agriculture does have on climate change. No, it's actually miserable. I didn't even go. I was going to show more details from that United Nations report. They quantified the exact amount of tons in their estimation. How many tons animal agriculture puts out in greenhouse gas emissions from a variety of their production methods. Like just from fertilizers put out so many tons, transportation puts out so many tons, all these things is put out so they can quantify it. It's not like something that's like, well, we can agree to disagree. No, these are they're knowable things, and they have knowable effects, and it's not immeasurable. Elon Musk is just completely ignorant to go out on the world's largest podcast and pretend he's an expert. He tries to act like he's so smart. Like I said, maybe he's smart in a certain domain or two. I'll give him that. But talking about the effects of animal agriculture on greenhouse gas emissions, he's a complete fool. I mean, I'm like way more educated on how that works than he is, and I don't even call myself an expert. I just know some of the basic facts. But Elon is lacking even that, yet he goes off and portrays himself as an expert on all things technology, kind of like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I respect as an astrophysicist and science educator. He's good at that. That's his thing. But for him to pretend he can bring the expertise from those areas into like veganism and give his stupid crap about how vegans, think we're all great and all, but we care more about trees than rats or whatever it was. Remember that stupid thing? And imagine an alien race of people composed of carrot matter or something like that. It's like, no, Neil. Philosophy and veganism, that's not your wheelhouse, bro. Get back to educating kids about science. That you're awesome at that. You're the Michael Jordan of that right now. Yeah, Brandon, I saw Rogan is totally gone. I'd even show other stuff that him and Musk were talking about in that very podcast that I showed, that from earlier this week. They were talking about how like January 6th, the insurrection at our Capitol, it was like fake. They're saying that all these like left-wing actors there that were leading the charge on the Capitol and forcing the Trump and right-wing people to go. It's like, no. I mean, I just looked, I remember like you can actually name actual like right-wing politicians. Just Google it right now if you think I'm full of it. West Virginia, January 6th politician. He was arrested back in 2021 for insurrecting, breaking in the Capitol. And he's running for office again. He had to serve like 3 months for breaking in the Capitol illegally. And he's back out and he's trying to run for office. I mean, it's well known. There's, actual right-wing politicians who willingly participated in it. But him and Musk are going off how it was like Antifa that was secretly behind all this and forced all the Trump people in. And it's just like, oh my God. Just any kind of like out there conspiracy theory that supports his political point of view at the expense of others who are not like involved in this crap. That's what Rogan's into now. So I didn't have much respect for Rogan before. from all the misinformation he's been spreading about veganism all these years. But I'm watching him just slowly going down these conspiracy theory rabbit holes that are just like completely wacky and unsupported. Just because I don't know what, it makes it more popular. I don't know. Is it something that happens to some guys when they get older? Because it sure hell ain't happening to me. I'm not believing a bunch of conspiracy theory and misinformation unless someone somehow proves to me one day that veganism is a psyop. It's all fake, you know. That really is not good for the animals. It really is destroying the planet. Us eating all our potatoes and stuff is killing the planet, and raising billions of cows, totally great for the planet. The more cows you put on the earth, it's better. It cleans up the air. You know, if someone could show us that, I'd be really interested. What's that, Sarah? Your best girlfriend just put an anti-Elon Musk sticker on her own Tesla. I see there's a sticker going around that, you know, I bought this I bought this car before I knew what kind of person he was or something like that. Thing is, you're going to piss off his stands, you know, if you do that. So yeah, it sucks. I don't like to put things on my property where, you know, if someone has the opposing or a different point of view, they might take it upon themselves to like vandalize or damage or something like that. You know, or hopefully maybe people are more civil where you're at, Sarah, but I wouldn't do it here. Yeah, Carl. Yeah, Rogan is kind of turning into an early, low-grade kind of Alex Jones type. Maybe he'll never get quite that bad, but I'm saying the points of views that he's promoting and aligning with are much closer to that than they've ever been before. Let's see. Johnny, you like Rogan being a UFC commentator because he knows his stuff regards mixed martial arts. I said, I'm sure, yeah, both Elon and Rogan are very knowledgeable, way more than I'll ever be in certain domains. In Joe's case, yeah, fighting, mixed martial arts, stuff like that. But when it comes to actual like things like nutrition, veganism, ecology, philosophy, no, those are not his strong suits at all. Hey, Bill, we got a Lakers game, huh, in about maybe 20 odd minutes or so. Should be a good one. So I'll catch some of that. I'll catch the second half for sure. AJ, you're telling me there is now such a thing as big potato. Potato companies have agreed to monopolize the industry per Robert Reich. Really? What do you mean monopolize what industry? The potato industry? Or I mean, it would stand to reason. I would, you know, just like in every industry, you know, in America basically, at one time, you know, there were many people in an industry, and things, you know, people merge, people got a business. It tends to be a few big players, what I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised there is a big potato conglomerate that controls 70% of the market share. I wouldn't be surprised if there's big broccoli, you know, big whatever, you know. But that doesn't mean they're like they have the same political clout and lobbying like, say, like big agriculture does, big cow does. GGP, you have a weird aunt. First of all, she won't go vegan because she's afraid of the fiber. Then you said she was vegan and it made her poop too much? Interesting. Guess she wasn't used to the fiber. Yeah, Adam, I know that anyone's beef only or meat only diet requires way more resources, way more land, way more water, than raising, growing like what we eat, plants. $4.5 billion. I'm not appreciating your tweets that are just kind of like pro-right kind of thing. So please knock it off. It's not a political channel here or anything like that. You know, Fauci for prison. You know, the reason why I say political, it's really, you know, you don't see too many like people on the left saying that kind of thing. It's kind of a right thing. He was demonized by Trump in the GOP back in, you know, the early COVID years. So let's not act like a a right-wing bot is what I'm saying. I know you're not, but please just, no, it's not just tweet random politically charged comments. This is a vegan live stream. Robert Rigg purported that this big potato thing was like an emergency. Well, I'm sure, like I said, it happens in pretty much industry. There's always going to be a few big players. You know, just how it works out. It has nothing to do with potatoes. Yeah, Fauci was an actual scientist. I love how people, the talking points of the right, well, they changed they don't know what they're talking about because they changed their advice. Well, that's how science works. Like when COVID first hit, it was new. It was a novel virus. There wasn't a body of science to rely upon. People didn't know the mechanism for how it actually infected people, how it transmitted, stuff like that. At first they said, yeah, we don't need masks. And then people complained later on, well, first they said they don't need masks, then you should wear. Then they said later, because then they later on learned there wasn't more airborne transmission. They didn't know that at first. They thought it was like touching things like a cold. That's how science works. You you change your point of view as required by new evidence, new research, new facts. Science isn't like something like frozen in time. That's how evidence-based information works. You get more evidence, you get more information, you can make better decisions, you have a better understanding of things. Hey, me Kimniga Vegana. Oh yeah, there's plenty of right-wing vegans. I find a whole ton, strangely, in the fruitarian world. Not a whole ton, but a disproportionate amount in the fruitarian scene. And I blocked a guy a couple weeks ago. I think that was his name, right-wing vegan. And someone said I may have misunderstood him, but I don't think I did. I was pointing out how like, say, the right wing is like they did abortion, saying, well, it should be something that the states decide. I go, well, how about civil rights? Because I saw a certain governor of a red state saying, when asked, what about interracial marriage? Would you like there to be like a national, like, protection, like civil rights for interracial marriage? And he said, no, I'm cool with the states deciding that. Oh, really? So you're cool with some states not allowing me and Angie and other interracial couples to be married? That's what I just kicked him out. I go, no, I have no, I don't tolerate people who have, who are so flippant about my right to choose who I want to marry as a non-fully white or Asian person. Like, think about it. If interracial marriages were banned, who would I be able to marry? Just other mixed Asian people? And how fine? Do they have to be mixed with the same kind of, like, I'm Chinese and like, but my white stuff's all mixed up. How am I going to find someone with the same racial blend? I'll never be able to get married. It's just a stupid crap. So basically, bottom line is, just people back up. Just let people in a free country, which America is supposed to be, have the freedom to choose who they want to have relationships with, who they want to marry, who they want to spend their lives with, who they want to grow old with. Doesn't matter what their race is or what their sexual gender orientation, all that is. Just if you're in love with someone or want to be with someone, you should be able to do it in a free country. Bottom line, I truly believe in freedom. That's why I get pissed off at some, not all, but certain people who come on espousing this right-wing freedom, and it often ends up being a restriction, banning. Like Bob, he had problems with books that were not like bad, like Larry the farting leprechaun. We showed and read some of it on the show. There's nothing bad about it. Nothing. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not like, what's the word? There's nothing naughty about it, like, bad words or anything like that. It was just a silly topic, but he wanted to ban it. He was cool with the ban because it was banned in some states. That's why I brought it up. And I'm just showing there's no harm. If something's not, what's the word? Like pornographic or what's the word I'm looking for? But anyway, I'm saying if it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it other than you might not like it. Well, suck it, If you don't like who I'm married to, suck it, I don't care. That's your problem. Anyway, but yeah, Jessica, if you're right wing, cool. I'm not saying all are like this. I'm just saying there are those on the right who are way into banning things, yet they hide behind this concept of their total freedom. Like, yeah, freedom for the things that you're into and not freedom for the things that you are triggered by. So that's not freedom. Freedom is not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Ryan says, "Suck it." That's what I say. If you can't deal with, if you as a person look out and see a man and a woman, or a man and man together, or a mixed couple together, and you're triggered, that's your problem. That's not their problem. Don't try to make it illegal because you have some kind of hang up inside of you. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it came from your religion, or where you live at, or you're just a weird person. If you get triggered when you see any of those things, that's your problem. And maybe you should get some therapy rather than trying to pass laws, because freedom, bro. Do you even freedom, bro? Anyway. Yeah, Varley, this is a totally safe space for you. And if someone comes here and tries to like throw down some anti-LGBTQ stuff and hide behind anything, their religion, their politics, whatever, I don't care what they use to try to justify immoral, hateful, bigoted behavior, they're gone. I have no tolerance for the intolerant, basically. Hey, Fulmar Music, good to see you. Let's see. What's that, Subaduba? Animal rights is a nonpartisan issue. Everyone should be on board with it, regardless of their politics. I've said that a million times. Like, I've had idiots come on here and try to say, oh, vegans is like a left-wing thing. Like, no, we got plenty. Right now, I know there's several of you guys who lean more towards the right. Because veganism is simply this: a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So I don't care if you're in the middle, the left, right. It doesn't matter. If you see that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong and you don't want to participate in that, that's what veganism is. It has nothing to do with your religious beliefs. You could be any religion. You could be atheist. You could be Satanist, whatever. As long as you think or understand that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, you can be vegan. It doesn't matter anything about your beliefs or any other attributes about yourself. It's completely veganism is completely agnostic about other things in your life. Let's see. Jessica, you're kind of repeating these right-wing things, like what Trump is saying, like kids go to school and they at school somehow perform a gender-changing surgery on Johnny and they go back home and they're Jane or something like that. Like, no, that's not how it works at all. Adam Sorer, that's a loaded question. The only way we'll meet our climate goals, I am personally of the opinion, and I hate to be so pessimistic, that I don't see our country, let alone the world, meeting any, in any meaningful way, meeting the climate goals. Maybe there'll be a couple outlier countries, maybe some cool European country will be able to hit it, and that'll be awesome. But what I'm saying is, as far as enough countries hitting the climate goals to make an impact, and a lot of these climate goals will say, oh, we want to reduce like 10% of emissions by 2040 or some like modest goal that's like pushed off like several decades. I actually don't think we're going to have enough change happen here on planet Earth quickly enough to really ward off climate change. So a lot of younger people are going to have a much worse older years than I'm going to. I mean, it's already things are changing already now. But I'm just saying, if you're bringing someone onto this planet right now, putting a newborn out there, things are really going to be shitty for them when they're like 60, 70 years old is what I'm thinking. But that being said, it's not a reason just to throw up your hands and say, F it, screw it, I'm just going to eat a bunch of cows. I mean, still, if you're against animal cruelty and exploitation, you're against animal cruelty and exploitation. Continue being vegan. And it just so happens that being vegan, as the United Nations has said, this is not my opinion, is the most climate-friendly diet with regards to carbon emissions. Probably on other stances too, like deforestation and so on and so on. But that was I cite that article more often. So yeah, just be vegan, and it's good, and hopefully more people will catch on. Elizabeth says lots of people have been pushed to the right because of drastic changes on the left. I disagree. I'd like to know what you're talking about. I've seen drastic changes happen on the right. Remember, I'm older than a lot of you guys. I've seen how the parties have evolved over the decades. And the right has gone way more radical now, embracing like Russia. Russia's cool now. Vladimir Putin is like a cool dude. When I grew up, Russia was horrible. They're the devil or whatever. And now they're supposed to be cool. And just like the embrace of misinformation and conspiracy theories, stuff like that. I'm not saying the left is great. I have tons of problems with the left and the Democratic Party in general, but they've kind of steered course and maybe ventured more to the center. They're not a party of like progressiveness or anything anymore. You're not going to see like the New Deal or something like that happen again. They've kind of become a more centrist party. Well, America's kind of gone more right, I think, but I think the right wing has gone in directions that I can't even relate to. Like Trump going on the debate saying they're eating our dogs and cats. And then the commentators point out, oh, no, that's not true. That's we fact checked that. That's wrong. Well, I heard it somewhere. It's true. The Haitian immigrants are eating our dogs and cats. And even the mayor of the town said, no, that's not true. So I'm just saying there's just so much misinformation that that party's been leaning towards. Not to say the left doesn't engage it, but there's just so much in abundance. I think that they have changed way more. The left has changed more. I said they've become a more centrist party. So if anything, the left isn't providing enough counterpoint to the right by having gone more center. But the left is still the party that I remember, the party that's more for helping people rather than like the wealthiest people. Wealthy people are people too. I realize that, but the right wing is more. That's what the whole budget fight's going to be about. That's what it was last time when Trump came into office. It was budget cuts so that they could pass a huge, great tax break for the wealthiest people in America and corporations. I mean, Apple saved I think $10 billion by what happened. But at the expense of raising taxes on us more poor folk. Like it's a wealth transfer from the less wealthy to the more wealthy. What was I saying about this? Anyway, okay, Elizabeth agrees. People are on the right. Yeah, have been pushed further right. I agree with you. Not only have the political leaders been more radically right, their followers have been following right along with that too. They're totally cool with eating the dogs, even though it's totally wrong. And the JD Vance's thing about childless couples like me and Angie are what's wrong with America. We're ruining America. We should be taxed higher because we're such horrible people for not having kids. And furthermore, childless cat couples, I guess I would be their nightmare. So anyway, I don't want to get all political. I'm just telling you my thoughts on that. They've so Doge has trimmed off $1 trillion to help the budget next year. The thing is, where does the $1 trillion come from? Because remember, it's hard to have your cake and eat it too, Heidi, because on the one hand, they're pledging to trim the budget, but the budget is fed by taxpayers, by people paying their taxes. And as I said, it's a well-known fact. You can look this up. This is not like something I'm making up. They're trying to extend Trump's tax cuts for the wealthy, and I think even extend them, have the cuts be even deeper. So if the wealthiest people and corporations are not paying as much money into the government, you're cutting from you have to pass a balanced budget, and you're receiving less money. You have to cut programs that help other things, like say people who are not wealthy. So it's trimming $1 trillion while giving a tax break to the wealthiest people. You got to think about it. Is that right? Is that moral to trim $1 trillion, but at the same time giving the wealthiest people and corporations a big tax cut, while the rest of us, ours will go up? I forgot where the tipping point was. I think it was somewhere around maybe $100,000, $200,000, where the difference between if you're paying more, like I am, making less than that, as opposed to if you're making more, your taxes go down. So trimming the budget at the expense of giving the tax break to the wealthiest is if you're cool with that, if you like subsidizing the richest people in the world, I can't say that you're a bad person or anything, Heidi, but I'm not suggesting that at all, Heidi. I'm just saying it's not, I don't think it's the right way to go about things. Cutting the budget while at the same time cutting taxes for the wealthiest. What do you have faith in, Heidi, that they're not going to screw the less wealthy? I mean, the tax plan's already out there. I mean, you already can see how you will be affected given your income. And I will probably pay $1,000 or $2, something like that. It's going to be a significant bit more money that I have to give the government, while your wealthy friends and corporations, they're going to be paying less money to the government. So yeah, we pay more and the wealthiest pay less. You know, that's how it's going to work out. Huh, Johnny, just read that. I don't think I know anything about that. And hey, Jair H guy, the richest man in the world buying power is, yeah, that's what we saw with Musk. But basically, he bought his way into political power just like that. He's not even American, right? He's an immigrant from South Africa. Anyway, and he's gonna try to run our country. But anyway, Jessica, do you have a problem with people who are trans? I know you've been speaking some trans stuff out. Is that a problem if you see someone out in the world? Oh, that person's trans. Is that bother you? Because if so, again, that's you. If you're triggered by someone who's trans or LGBTQ in some way, or a interracial couple, I'm not saying you are, but if any of those things bother you, again, that's you. It doesn't affect you. Me and Angie and an interracial couple doesn't affect anyone. You're still as free as you ever were. And if you see a trans person, doesn't affect you. You don't have to be in a relationship with them. If you see a lesbian couple, you know, doesn't affect you. You don't have to get lesbian married or anything like that. You're free to marry whoever you want, you know, still. That's what freedom's all about. Being able to accept that there are people who are different from you, and even though they might trigger you in some way, that's not their problem. It really isn't. Cool, yeah, trans shouldn't bother you. LGBTQ shouldn't bother you. Interracial couples shouldn't bother you. We're just people. We're all just people trying to get along in this diverse country here. Okay, Jessica, cool. I didn't know if your position was anti-trans or something. You keep bringing up trans and children, stuff like that, and that's not normal. You just don't go to school and they cut your wiener off and send you home. That's not how it works or anything like that. I've heard Trump describe that in a few of his rallies. Again, that's what I'm saying. That's how radical. If a politician said crap like that in the 80s, like they're eating our dogs, they cut your wiener off at school, they'd be laughed out. They wouldn't even have a political career. But now the guy won president, you know, for saying such rubbish. So anyway, let's see. Milo says the wealthy never pay taxes. Well, they pay taxes, but not their fair share. They just pass on higher costs to the consumer. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with like wealthy people paying their fair share? But no, every time a new Republican president comes in, that's the number one agenda. That's like pretty much the first thing you'll see happen. Like it'll happen in the first few months, the extension of the tax cuts for the wealthy and the raising of the rest of our taxes. It's like, hey, there's a billionaire. I want to help pay for your life because you need my help, Mr. Billionaire. Anyway. Allison, that was the first thing you heard when you joined the live stream? Well, that's awesome. That's good timing. Well, yeah, Jessica, a few people aren't convinced that you're like fully cool with trans people. Just the fact that you're bringing it up as some kind of problem or issue, that's kind of the red flag I'm getting to. Like your average person that I know, that I converse with in my normal life, I don't see them ever bringing up trans in some kind of way to make some kind of point about how something's wrong with the world or something like that. So just, if you're cool with them, just, yeah, please, yeah, no transphobia. Even if you're talking about teens, or just, it's hard enough being trans. We don't need people having, like, dropping subtle transphobia out into the world, because again, they're people just like you and me. Hopes and dreams, wishes, we're just all trying to get by in the world and do our best. And we don't need to throw any shade at them, or anyone for that matter, unless they're deserving, like say Elon Musk or Joe Rogan or something like that. Farley, you've been hearing lots of stories of gender non-conforming women being harassed in public bathrooms. So that's what happens. And even just like people that they suspect, I think that person might be trans, let's hate on them. Like the boxer in the Olympics. You saw, again, this is like a meme on the right. Misinformation that what was she, Algerian boxer was some kind of man or something like that. No, she's living in like a Muslim country. You can't even do that if you wanted to change your gender or anything like that. Just some people present more as the opposite gender than others, just a genetic thing. But it turns out, yeah, she's fully female. They said she was banned or couldn't compete for a while at some point. Yeah, it was for some kind of like blood test that didn't go well or something like that, which happens in sports for people of cis norm all the time. But anyway, GGP, you say you're queer and do regret being forced to take medication which affects your hormones as an adolescent. It's a very complex matter. I'm sorry that you're forced to take medication because of your queerness. Again, why can't society just allow people like you to be queer? And why this like reconversion therapy? What is that called? Conversion therapy? They try to convert you to being straight. Well, if you're not straight, all the hormones and counseling and scare tactics ain't gonna do it. Might work for a little bit, but you are who you are on the inside, Like say someone tried to do conversion therapy on me, like, Ryan, you can't date people who are not your race. You have to date only your race. Interracial marriage is evil and bad and immoral, and have to take drugs and have conversion. It ain't gonna work, I'm gonna like who I like. Not to say I wouldn't date an Asian, but I'm already married to Angie. I'm just saying I like who I like. I don't care what someone's race is. It doesn't matter to me. Jessica, so you say, I don't know who Buck and Blair are. You support the trans community of Buck and Blair who are helping kids avoid surgery. Let's say this, Jessica. Let's say we could remove kids from the equation. Let's just say there was some kind of national law that you couldn't get surgery until a certain adult age. I don't know what that would be, 16, 18, something like that. Would you be as concerned about trans then? Are you just doing it strictly to protect the kids? Say that was a non-issue anymore, Jessica. Only adults of a certain age could do it. Would you be okay then and not have to mention trans anymore in political discussions? I'm just curious if that was a non-issue. Are you cool? Are you totally, hey, there's a trans person, awesome? Would you be like that? Yeah, I agree, Bill. Okay, so Bill's summation of Buck and Blair are pick-me trans people who spew right-wing anti-trans rhetoric but act like they care about the children. Okay, Buck Angel is a trans man who makes transphobic statements. Okay, that's why I don't know about this person, because I don't pay attention to people who spew hate. Basically, if you're spewing hate, you're spewing hate. So I just don't let them enter my consciousness as much as I can help it. Let's see. Peter Kropotkin, best complete protein source. Is that a statement, Peter? Is that a question? What's the context? It just sounds like a bot there. I'm not saying you're a bot, but it's just very kind of like out of context, and it's not even a complete, it's not a sentence. It doesn't have like a subject and predicate. Like best complete protein source is just dangling. It needs something else. It just doesn't stand on its own. So complete the thought for us, Bill. Or Peter. I'm sorry, Peter Kropotkin. Let's see. What's that, Adam? I think people will someday find the source of LGBTQ sexual orientations, and people won't have to worry about not having satisfying experiences with the opposite sex. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying there. Okay, so Jessica, you'd only be cool if there was a law saying you'd have to be like 25 and older. So you're not. So that's really a weird, kind of arbitrary point, because in most states, 18, you're considered an adult. You can go to the army. You get drafted and serve your country and get shot at. I think at that age you should be considered mature enough to make a decision, like if you want to have a trans affirming surgery or something like that. 25 just seems totally arbitrary and cruel. I could see if you're trying to protect children, like school age. I'm not saying I agree with your stance, but I understand where the sentiment might be. But 18, come on, that's an adult. If you can go get shot and die for our country, I think you should have the freedom to choose what kind of life you want to live. What's wrong with 18? Okay, I know it's 25 is when the brain stops growing rapidly. That's why, doctors recommend, high school and early college age students shouldn't smoke a bunch of weed or drink a lot. Your brain's still growing. But I'm saying your brain is still intelligent and mature. It's intelligent enough and mature enough at 18 to make adult decisions. You have the moral responsibilities of an adult. I mean, again, if you can serve your country, I mean, that's the highest moral responsibility right there. Are you still with us, Johnny? I mean, that's it. I mean, if you have the moral responsibility of that, you should be able to make the moral decision of for yourself at that point. Okay, it's 17 even, Johnny. Well, you can enlist at 17 with parental consent. Wow, thanks for adding that. So yeah, if you can, I think the age at which you can serve the military should be an age. So 17 with parental consent, which seems like let's see. So Bill, and see, I'm not an expert. I don't follow this stuff. I don't know why it's such an issue. Kids getting trans surgeries, like it's such a big thing. Bill says nobody under 18 can make that decision. They must have a doctor and parents. And a huge protocol from WPATH criteria. So it's not like a 12-year-old just on his or her own could say, hey, I'm going to change gender and I'm going to keep it on the down low and I don't need consent. It doesn't work that way from what Bill's saying there, which makes a lot of sense. Bill studied it for 2 years, so I'll defer to your studies there, Bill. But again, why? It just seems like, what's the concern about this? It's like, people weren't worried about trans and kids until the right started talking about trans and kids. It's not really a big problem as far as I understand. It's not why America is suffering right now. It's not why people are having trouble, like, say, with paying their bills because of inflation, finding jobs. That's really not. I'm just trying to understand, why is that like a big thing? It's like worrying about what other people are doing. It's like their family, their decisions, their doctors. Again, why are we worried about what they're doing? Why aren't we worried about, like I said, how there's a new administration coming in that's going to tax the poorer people more and give nice tax cuts to the wealthiest people and corporations? That's a huge problem. And trying to cut services, like, say, my health insurance is in danger, from what I understand. Like, that's going to screw me up if that ever was, like, taken away. That's a big problem. But no, this just freak people out about teens getting trans operations on their own without any consent or something like that. Let's see. There's a good idea there, Varley. Yeah, gays more or less got accepted, more or less. I still see a lot of bigotry and hate, but I know what you're saying. So the right needed a new minority to hate on. It could have been vegans, right? They could have totally picked on us, because we do get hated on often by right wing. Left a little bit too, but I see more anti-vegan hate coming from right, like, say, Piers Morgan, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens. I'm having trouble thinking of a left person, maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson or something like that. But anyway, simple as has happened in the UK as well. Peter Kropotkin, are you a bot? Again, another kind of non sequitur post. Purple sweet potatoes. How sweet. What's the thing you're trying to say? Do you have something you wanted to say? Okay, Johnny says, but if a draft was instituted, it would affect any male between 18 and 26, rather than 17. Yeah, you need special consent and stuff like that. Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, this is the whole thing. I'm saying, the right used to try to hate on gays, as Bill and Varlis pointed out, and then the same thing, like picking on trans people and all. The thing is, why pick on people? That's the whole thing. I'm not trying to defend the Democratic Party or the left, but I don't see them really picking on too many groups of people, except occasionally I see some pot shots at billionaires or something like that, But I don't see, like, groups of people being, like, demonized, like homosexual, LGBTQ, trans, stuff like that. It's just like, again, let people be people. Let people do as they want. They're not harming anything or anyone. They're just being themselves, or at least trying to be themselves, despite all the negativity that so many people unfairly and unjustifiedly put on them. Hey, Peter Cunnington's here. Yes, I'm still on. Let's see, Varlis says to Blood Rose, I have tried my best to live a kind life. I have trans women friends. I've heard their stories, which is why I fight for their rights, even though you got yours. So anyway, good morning from India, says Abhilash. Good evening from California. Okay, is there are you guys cool, Corey and Sweet Potato Sister? I want to make sure everything is that we're not having some kind of fight here that we don't need to have. So let me know. I'm trying to read through and understand what this discussion is. I see slavery and stuff like that coming up, so I get certain words trigger me like that. When I see that get brought into a conversation, I'm have red flags. So let me know if everything's cool. So, Sweet Potato Sister, she says she finds it funny when non-black people refer to her as blacks. Like, we really don't like it, but find it funny. Okay, Carl's let me know Corey's producing a bunch of racist nonsense. Okay, what's going on, Corey? Corey, just let me stop here. What's going on here? What's the point you're trying to make here? And is it racist? We'll find out really quickly here. So, Corey, address me instead of Sweet Potato Sister now. What's going on? Because I've obviously missed it. So I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I just want to get to the bottom of what's happening so I can move on to something else. Adam, no, I have not seen that. Okay, Corey is saying certain races are more in the right brain, certain races are more in the left brain. Okay, first of all, is that, first, I just want to know, it's not a big deal. I just want to know, is that something that's science has shown? It sounds like it. Secondly, okay, if that's true, then so what? And also, too, I know if something like that's true, it's just a generality, like a percentage, a probability thing. It doesn't mean like, just say, I'm just making some crap up here. Let's say like, on the average, Asians are more left brain. Doesn't mean you can't be a freak like me that could be more right brained and Asian or have a nice balance between the two. So I'm just kind of curious, why are you bringing that up in the first place? How does that relevant to the conversation we're having here? What is the point? That certain races might be more left or right brain. Okay, that's an interesting fact. We weren't talking about anything about brain hemisphere dominance or anything like that, but just kind of curious. Why was that? Why'd you even bring this up for? You must have had an intention, a point you're trying to make. So what's the point? Did we just ban them? Hey, Sarah, where'd you go? Is there a new Livestream power couple? Okay, I think Corey just got banned. I'm just trying to figure out what was the whole point. Why do you guys understand why Corey brought up this assertion, which might be proven true? I'm not saying it's not. Oh, 10 seconds. So does anyone know why Corey brought that up? That certain races might be more left or right brain dominant. Like, what does that mean? Fulmar points out there is neurodiversity, like normal diversity, but it's more to do with primal and outer brain onion. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, Lakers have started already, Billy. You got to get going. I'm going to watch the second half for sure. He brought it up because he's a piece of trash. I mean, there can be a context, Graven, for bringing that up that makes sense. I just, for the life of me, can't imagine what the context would be, given what we've been talking about here for the past, like, this live stream. I don't see how that is relevant about anything. So let's see. Okay, so Corey's back. This is why the different races have different histories and different stuff they did, generally speaking. What does that mean? Different races have different histories and different stuff they did? Like, I don't even know. Of course, like Asian history is different from, like, say, European history, even though they met at a certain point and the stories became one, different than Native American history. Like, yeah. So what is your point? All you're saying is different people from different points in the world, from different parts of the world, had different histories. Like, duh. I mean, of course. Graven, Really? He called black people blacks. Is that true? Corey, did you refer to African Americans or black people as blacks or the blacks? Did you do that? Do you know that's not cool to do? It's not. Maybe you don't know. Maybe from where you're from. I don't know where you're from. Maybe in your part it's normal to say that, but it's not nice. It's not a preferred way to refer to people. So don't do that. At least here in this live stream, you're here away from your normal community, I guess, if that's how you normally talk. That's not how it works. You did say that, Corey, so you're on some really thin ice right now. How's that racist? Because someone of that race is telling you that's not a nice way to refer to them, as the blacks. Could you understand how someone who is black and is telling you that's not a cool way to refer to them, and you're not going to respect that? Like, hey, someone, if you referred to me as a chinky and I told you, hey, that's not cool, and you go, what's racist about that? Well, I'm just telling you, I live this life. I've been living my life as an Asian person my entire life. I know what kind of words are racially charged, racial epithet type words, and chinky is one of them. And if I were to say that, I would expect you to understand and maybe respect it rather than get triggered and try to challenge me on that. That's what's wrong with that. So just respect someone who knows, who has lived her life as a person of color her entire life, telling you, don't do that. That's not a cool way to do it, okay? So that's all we're saying here. Instead of being triggered and attacking and pretending you're the victim and you need someone to justify how a term like that could possibly be interpreted as not cool, just respect them. Instead of fighting, just respect them, okay? Respect them. You don't have to respect them meaning like kiss their ass, but respect what they're saying to you, okay? Do you understand that? Graven, yeah, heads up to Corey. In case you didn't know, Corey, if a woman says no, she means no. Don't ask her to justify, how can you say no to me? Or what does no really mean? No, just respect it. You don't have to agree with it, but respect it. Okay, same thing. Same thing. Someone's telling you something like that, respect it. Sweet potato, funny thing is your husband is white. I didn't know that. And very artistic, and I'm a nursing student and study science. So he's trying to say, if I understand, I could read between the lines there, sweet potato sister, Corey, who's gone right now, was trying to imply that white people are more left-brained and scientific, and black people are more right-brained and creative or something like that. Was that what he's trying to say? I'm saying, that's why I asked, like, why is he even bringing that up for? Because even if that might be true on some kind of statistical level, it doesn't mean it's true for everyone. It's just a probability thing. There's always going to be plenty of exceptions. So I'm going, why even bring that up in the first place? Because you're denying individuality when you try to make a blanket comment about a race or even a class of people being pretty much all the same. Allison, yes, there's a lot of power in having some humility. Instead of pretending you know it all, just to say, hey, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I'll keep that in mind, okay? You don't even have to say that. Just say that to yourself. I just read what you said there, Johnny. Personally, you don't say blacks ever. Hey, Groovy Lisa. Hey, AJ, yeah, there's no room for bigotry here. So, what's that guy's name again? Corey, if you're watching, he's probably gone anyway. But yeah, if this is the kind of person you are, if you're going to like come here and not listen to people of color when they tell you that a way that you're referring to them is not cool, if you're not going to be open-minded to hear that and instead get triggered and want it to be justified and proven, this might not be the live stream for you. Just saying that, Corey. Okay, just putting it out there. But if you're not like that, this could work out for you. But if you don't accept what I just said there, this is not the place for you, Corey. So it's up to you. And I apologize, sweet potato sister, for not seeing what he said, or he or she, whatever. I assume it was a he. I'm sorry if he said anything offensive or inappropriate, but I don't see it all, and I'm kind of down my moderators tonight too, unfortunately. Peter's been popping in and out, and Uncle texted me right before the live stream started that he's still entertaining people. He went on a trip a few weeks ago. That's why I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, and I think he's back home now, but entertaining like relatives and stuff. So kind of down a couple moderators. So ultimately, though, it's my responsibility. I can't like just say, hey, I didn't, I need my moderators, but I do appreciate their help, but I'm sorry about that. And I will make sure, I will keep, if Corey comes back, I will have my eagle eye on every last thing Corey says and see how he reacts. And if it's not to my satisfaction, the block will be permanent. Yeah, Johnny, I see what you're saying. A lot of it is context too, and who you're with, If one of your friends says that, calls, hey, you're black, right? Yeah, it's totally cool. But if you're with someone who might be a little racist, as we suspected someone like Corey might be, and they say that, it might rub a little wrong, Anyway, yeah, Subadub. It did sound like he was trying to do some kind of scientific racism shit or something like that, huh? Aja, you're a mod in another, and you take no. See, I don't want to have you be a moderator here too. I want you to be able to enjoy at least one of these live streams. So work the other one and be a full audience member, a very special full audience member in this one. Yeah, I'm really not digging it too, Ravens. Racism and transphobia tonight. Is this what the new Trump America is going to be like or something? Because I can't remember too many in the past, live streams in the past where we had such open, what I missed. I saw the trans stuff earlier, but I missed the racism stuff a little bit there. So I'm just going to make it known. If this is how some people think we're going to adapt here on this live stream, hell no. So if you think, now you're emboldened because you think you can be more racist again or something like that, or more trans again, more transphobic again, this is not your community. I am not going to sit back and just let you spout a bunch of hate or bigotry, because I'm 100% intolerant of hate and bigotry. Yeah, we need an anti-vegan to play with. Where's an anti-vegan when you need one, huh? Oh, Corey's back. What's wrong with acknowledging there are differences between races? Why do you even have to, what's the point? What, okay, I want to ask you, why even bring this up in the first place? We weren't having a discussion about race. We were strangely having a discussion about transphobia. I'm not sure what's the context on this live stream for mentioning that there are differences between races. Why? You must have had something you were trying. You didn't say that out of the blue for no reason. There was a point you were trying to make, some argument you're trying to get at. So why even bring up that races are different? Yes, of course we know races are different. Just look at people's pigment. Look at people's eyelid shape. Look at all sorts of attributes. Yes, no duh. Races have different attributes. Of course, it's a no-brainer. Why bring this up in this live stream is my point. My suspicion is when something like this is brought up in a live stream like this, where we're not talking about racial differences, there's some kind of racial ulterior motive going on, and it's usually not a good one. So I'm asking, why even bring it up in the first place? Of course races have different attributes. Why was trans brought up? Because I thought someone was trans. I think the answer was, why was trans brought up? Because someone was spouting randomly some transphobic points of view. So why was race brought up? Same thing. I'm suspecting someone was spouting some racist points of view. Prove me wrong. Why even mention that races have different attributes? Of course. The races don't understand each other, so they need to know the truth. What the fuck does that even mean, Corey? What do you mean? They need to know the truth and they don't understand? Where are you getting this shit from? Yeah, Carl, the races understand each other fine. They understand that everyone is part of the human race. Corey, this is a vegan live stream. You'll show me what? That races are different? Yes, I know races are different. I'm saying you don't need to prove anything. I'm just asking, why are you trying to, on this live stream about veganism, trying to put forth theories about how races are different? Why is that even relevant to what we're discussing today? Yeah, I know, Graven, 100%. So, Corey, more importantly, will you apologize while Sweet Potato Sister is here for referring to African Americans or black people as the blacks? Will you at least do that? I know she didn't ask for an apology, but I sure as hell would love to see an apology, because that's not a preferred way of referencing. So will you at least offer Sweet Potato Sister an apology for it? It doesn't have to be a big, sad, sappy apology. Just acknowledge, hey, maybe my words could have been chosen better. I was not aware. From where I'm from, it's not like that. You can say that all you want, but I didn't realize in this more national or international forum that we have here, it might not be the best reference. What do you think? Can you do that for us, Corey? Well, I didn't see it. Can you do it one more time? Hey, Sarah, thank you for the super chat tip there. Again, I don't want to burden AJ. You know, she's already moderating for, is it Vegan Zombie? Is that who you're moderating for? I can't remember, but I want her to be at least kick back and enjoy this live stream as a regular audience person. You apologize for whoever you offended. Well, I told you exactly who you may have offended. I didn't say you offended, like, AJ or GGP89 or Subaduba. I said one particular person who you were having this discussion with and was kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe he threw the blacks at me. So would you at least give a nice, or at least not nice, just a moderately sincere apology, because that was a flippant throw in the toilet kind of apology there. Yeah, that's not an apology, as Graven points out, for whoever. You didn't, your words really hit more some audience members than others. So acknowledge that. Show that you can be you can be reasoned with, and you're just not spouting hate. Subaduba, I really don't know much about critical race theory, but I know it's become a political issue, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Carl, your wife is Taiwanese. Awesome. You're white. You've been happily married for over 30 years. Awesome. We've had some cultural differences to overcome, but that's just culture. You have 4 beautiful children. Well, I tell you, there's some governors of some states here in the United States who think that the Supreme Court should decide if interracial marriage should. They think this. They're cool with the Supreme Court punting it down to the states. Just pointing out, that's the kind of shit we're dealing with these days. All right, Corey, you're not apologizing. All right. So you're standing fast there. All right, Corey's gone, blocked. Gave him an opportunity to clear the air, start fresh, hit reset. If we could, if as much as possible, the damage has already been done, but at least make some kind of semi-sincere effort to move on. And nope, wouldn't do it. Holding fast. I'm not apologizing. I'm standing behind my perceived racist comments, and I'm gonna die on this hill. So that's it. You're gone, Corey. Anyway, we're moving on. So we don't have to worry about this person again. Yo, Petey's Ponderings. Yeah, Johnny, even though there are differences between races, like, what does it matter, you know? I mean, who cares if one race statistically might be more left-brained or right-brained than the other? Who gives a shit? Because you know the individual person you're looking at isn't a statistic. They're an individual person, and they might not match up statistically with what's normal by probability theories or something like that. Anyway, PDs, my basketball is coming along all right. I haven't been playing as much. Been more just working out rather than playing a lot of games. And I didn't go today because the gym would have been way too crowded, and my ankle's a little sore, and I got a little cold too. So anyway, we're chilling here. GGP89, no, there's no songs like that where my two singers from my two different bands have sing on the same song. I can't think of one. Nope. So anyway, wow, what a weird night. Well, we had racism, transphobia, and no anti-vegans. I can sing a little bit, GGP89. I might sing with Angie on some upcoming tracks, perhaps, but nothing in the works right now, but we're open to it. Well, Graven, I didn't catch that. You called Corey a neo-Nazi, and it didn't offend him, so that's all you need to know. Yeah, a normal person, when called or accused of being a neo-Nazi, should be, hey, what the F? You know, but if it just goes right past him and doesn't make any effect, that is a red flag. Not saying it's a slam dunk, but, you know, all we can get are red flags. Yeah, Johnny, I've been I haven't been deloading like that, but I've just been working out a bit less, you know. It's just been rough, you know, like, you know, it's not my weights are out in the garage, so I'm kind of bound by Mother Nature. Like, it's like too hot in the summer when I wake up to go work out in the garage. Garage that has no insulation, so it'll be like nice in here. It'll be like 90 degrees in the garage. So I made summer tough. Plus I was, you know, visiting my mom in the hospital a lot then too. And now it's like when I wake up in the morning, it's like freezing. I don't want to go out there. It's like decent in the house, but freezing in the garage. So I haven't been lifting weights that much. What I've been doing often lately too is I'll just have my bench loaded up so I could do a set of like bench presses before I go, like a high rep, maybe like a 13, 15 repetition set before I go somewhere. So I'm going to go to the market. I'll get down on the bench really quick, fire off like the set, and then go in the car and do my business. So that's how I've been kind of working out a little bit lately, just on the just transitory weight training. Am I a fan of Doug Graham? How do I think of the Dr. McDougall diet? McDougall's, yeah, it says eat a lot of starches and stuff, and I eat a lot of starches, but I like fruit too. But I think Doug Graham is crazy for saying that we have to eat only fruit or only uncooked food, or else we're gonna toxemia, an addiction to cooked food. That's a bunch of nonsense. But I like his message of eat more fruit. That's good. I guess if the McDougall diet had a little bit more fruit, well, how do I think Dr. McDougall died? Well, he was an old man for one, and when he was younger, he had a stroke, like when he was like 19 or 20 like that. So he did pretty well. He lived longer than your average American, and he had a stroke when he was younger. So that set him up for you know, a tougher life than if he had not had a stroke. Yeah, Sarah, when you're on the road, yeah, it's hard to work out and stuff like that. It's good to give your body a break for sure. I just haven't had the ability to really focus on training. I tell you, life's been a little chaotic, more chaotic than normal for me. So that's how it goes. And I'm not stopped. I haven't stopped. I still often too when I go out in the garage, say I need to go out and get something in the garage, I either do a set of bench press or I'll do a set of battle ropes. I'll do both, but I haven't really gone out in the garage for like 40 minutes like I used to and do a whole bunch of stuff, you know, weight lifting, weight training for a long time. Blood Rose, if the garage is cold, do you risk muscle injury? I've wondered that too, Blood Rose, because I've noticed many times in the past where I've like pulled muscles, it's usually been in November, December, January. Seriously, like last year when I sprained my foot, it was in December. I remember many years back in the early years of our channel, I pulled a muscle in my chest doing yoga in January. I just had, I've just noticed, like, I think muscles get tight or something like that in the cold. So I don't know. I guess it's not a bad thing to chill out a little bit when it's colder. I wish I had a gym that was like room temperature, but I don't. My garage is like totally like, I'm at the whims of Mother Nature. Yoga can be dangerous, Sarah. It depends on what you're doing, what kind of yoga, what kind of shape you're in. I was actually doing something relatively non-athletic. Seriously, it was a dumb muscle pull. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. I wasn't doing anything crazy or all that like technical or something. Oh, Petey, you saw Angie's short about me eating the vegan wieners, the vegan hot dogs at Disney California Adventure. Yeah, I was excited to eat those. We hadn't eaten them in quite a long time. Oh, okay. Yeah, your sister sounded like she maybe was doing some crazy stuff there by pushing her yoga practice. I wasn't really doing anything all that technical. I'll even show you the postures. And I was sitting on the ground back here, like cross-legged or on my knees. My hands are up like this, but just kind of up. And I'm just kind of pulling like energy or whatever muscles from the abs and kind of upward. It's kind of hard to do, but yeah, it wasn't really anything all that crazy, and it happened anyway. But yeah, anyone could pull muscles. Even a 9-year-old Johnny Bravo can pull muscles. Yeah, Sarah, your sister would probably benefit from both. I actually wish I did more stretching / yoga right now, to be honest with you. It'd probably do me a lot of good. But yeah, it's good to do, it's good to have weight training and something else, For me, that something else is running around on the basketball court or shooting baskets and practicing my jumping and stuff like that. So it's good to weight train and do something else too. And the basketball is great because, it gets me running. I don't run much anymore. I don't go out and run like I used to in the early days of our channel. So yeah, weight train, cardiovascular exercise, and, stretch in the hot tub. I don't even have a hot tub. That's cool. Yeah, you guys have a hot tub. Let's see. Nope, I haven't heard of that. Subaduba from? Yeah, balance training is really good too. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit more balance stuff too. Every couple of weeks or so, I'll do some workout that involves some kind of balance thing. So yeah, I've seen pro basketball athletes doing a lot of balance work. And I can see why now too. I think it's actually helping me out in my jump shot, getting more balanced when I'm shooting. I've realized now how often I was shooting off not a properly balanced position. But yeah, balance is important too. Now, yoga can be fun, Sarah. It's all right. It's not as bad as you think it is. Let's see, Johnny says, if you train for muscle building and strength, you're actually slowing down age-related muscle loss, especially if you're... Yeah, we lose muscle after a certain age. Yeah, somewhere about that. The thing is that you don't have to train to be a bodybuilder. That's what a lot of people think. Like, oh... Yeah, I mean, weight training doesn't automatically mean you want to look like, like Mr. Olympic man or Olympia or whatever, It's like, there's many ways to weight train where you're just building some strength or even just maintaining strength. But yeah, a lot of people think, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. Oh, you won't. That takes a lot of work, maybe some luck with genetics too. You won't accidentally look like a bodybuilder unless you have some crazy genetics and work hard. Johnny, your last day of being 22. Man, 23 is such a good age. So don't be bummed. Enjoy it. 23 is a rockin' ass age. So don't be bummed in the slightest bit, Johnny. Yeah, happy birthday. What am I saying? Happy birthday and be stoked. No, that sounds like a good stretch there, Sarah, for your calves. What's that? You're trying to crush walnuts with your buns? How does that work out? Johnny, you never found the Mr. Olympia build to be nice. Yeah, not everyone's looking for that, you know. I mean, a lot like, you know, just like watch like a game of like say you know, baseball players, you know, professional baseball players, basketball players, tennis players. Most of them are working out, but not all of them look like Mr. Olympia. Some dudes in the NBA have a build like mine, you know, and some have a build like LeBron James. You know, it just depends on what you're trying to get, what you're working towards, what your goals are, and what genetics do you have. Yeah, Heidi, you smashed it there. 23 is no bigsy for realsy. Yeah, it's no, that's not a biggie at all. It's a good one. It's a good year for you know, everything. You're maturing, you're strong. It's a good year. Suba Duba. I thought for a second that you said you smoked some tempeh. No, you're talking about having tempeh that's been smoked. Big difference. I don't think you could smoke tempeh, but I'll try to find out. 25 is when it gets bad. Why do you say that? I never remembered 25 being a year when things start getting bad, like as far as aging in your body. But yeah, everyone's different. If you don't mind sharing, Heidi, why do you say that? I'm just curious. Oh, you have to go into Special Forces selection sometime soon? Is that a good thing? That sounds kind of cool. Just kidding. Okay. You're trying to scare Johnny. Don't do that. Let him enjoy his 23. Or if you didn't tell him you were joking, he'd probably be sitting there for the next 2 years like, I got to enjoy 23 and 24. Because I remember on that live stream, Heidi said 25 sucks. So I got to like live. I got to like go YOLO these next 2 years. Yeah, 25 is the new 50, huh, Petey? Allison, cool. You came at a good time in the chat, right? You stepped in a good time. We were talking about cutting off wieners and stuff, and yeah, you've been here at a good time. I'm glad we're cracking you up, Johnny. Wow, Elizabeth, you started watching the vegan YouTubers when you were 21, 9 years ago. Awesome. That's when Heidi, when Allison joined in, right? You said the first thing you heard was like cutting off the wiener or something like that. Like, whoa, what's the context of this discussion? Sarah, you know, I don't know what to think about that. Am I glad I'm not super young? Am I cool being in my 50s? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter really because what I think, because it's not going to change anything. So I guess it's just cool and healthy to just accept where you're at in life, you know, whether you're 23 or 50 something in a lot of our cases here, you know, just accept that's what life is, you know, you're alive still, you know, have gratitude for that. And yeah, no sense being bummed about your age because you are your age, you know. You can't really change it. I mean, you can try to like be biologically younger by being, you know, eating a healthy vegan diet, working out, or try to change your external appearance with like surgeries or something like that. But you know, I guess it's just cool to be cool with where you're at, you know. Yeah, AJ, great point. Old age is a privilege. A lot of people dread the idea of themselves and they visualize, wow, I'm going to be old one day. No, you might not. You know, you might not be able to get there. So it's a privilege denied to many people. So think about it like that too. Have gratitude. That's what, you know, Thanksgiving is supposed to be about. I know we're a day past that, but it's be able to think into your life and see what you can be grateful for. Even if things aren't looking good for some of us right now. Some are. I mean, I'm just saying, no matter what's going on, you should be able to have a few things at least that you have some gratitude for. So that's what I see Thanksgiving as being. It's like a forced meditation. It has nothing to do with pilgrims and turkeys and funny hats, or I don't know, do people wear funny hats? I don't know. I'm thinking of pilgrim hats or something like that. I think I'm thinking of the Brady Bunch when they did that movie, that whole movie about Thanksgiving. But anyway, my point is, it has nothing to do with all that crap, you know? It has to do with really thinking about, okay, it's the dark time of the year, meaning, you know, the daylight hours are short. A lot of us have some kind of seasonal effect of depression, SADS, whatever it's called, or we just have some crap going on in life that's kind of tough. So, you know, it's a dark time, but it's a time to reflect that, oh, okay, well, it can't be all shit, can it? Hopefully not. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Heidi, huh? Pilgrim hats, law, and Brady Bunch for sure. And Graven, yeah, good point. Long life can be a punishment too. Like, how are you gonna like deal with living when you're like 90, and like how are you gonna take care of yourself? How are you gonna pay for everything? That's some of the stress I'm going through right now about my mom and stuff. So anyway, I'm stuck in third grade with pilgrim hats, huh, Carl? I was trying to wonder why I said hats. What am I thinking of? I was thinking of like pilgrim films or something. Ugly face, I haven't seen you tonight. Where you been? Your life got way better after your 20s into your 30s when you went vegan, and it's even better in your 40s, Law. I should have context for things so you know how to be calm. Yeah, it's a good attitude to have. I mean, yeah, I can't say any decade in my life has been shit or something like that. Been able to adapt and grow. That's important too. Not be stuck, and grow and just try to find meaning in life and keep you going, you know, keep it worth living if you can, instead of being bummed and depressed all the time. A good point though, Yuko. Wow, Varlas, your granny made it to 92, living independently. That's your goal. Wow, that's amazing.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh, Johnny, thanks for the tip, Johnny. Special forces, which I was asking about. That sounds like a good thing, right? Isn't a bad thing. You're trying to get attached to a special forces unit down here in Florida that you worked with recently. That sounds like a cool thing. Sounds like, you know, more like exciting work, probably a pay raise. It sounds cool. Just say, hey, I work in special forces. Peter gives a tip for doing split squats for improving balance, because we were just talking about balance there a second ago. Yeah, Carl, good point. Yeah, there's lifespan and there's health span. Like, how many years of productive life do you have? And a vegan diet can hopefully help with both of those. Johnny points out squats increase that functional strength. Sarah, cool. You do a bunch of movements on a balance board. Cool, yeah. Good to be working on balance. I should do more as well, because I'm already seeing some of the benefits of just a little bit I've been changing my workouts, you know, do a little more balanced stuff. That's a good attitude, Elizabeth Devine. It's a sweet potato sister. That's why you're trying to lose weight now, work out, and eat more fruit and veggies now, so you have a better life when you get old. Yeah, now's the time to start, you know. It's better to start when you're younger rather than when you're older and it's harder to make changes, or there's been an accumulation of like health effects, you know, bad health effects. So yeah, start now. Doesn't have to happen overnight too. It could be a many years long project. No, I get that, Johnny. Attached to it and being assigned to it. I totally get that distinction. But yeah, you see what it's like. You have some friends. You know, you can make it happen. Especially now that you're old. You're going to be 23. Old Johnny. You see, Carl has this trick here. He tries to put on your socks and shoes balanced on one foot. It's a daily thing you can do without even thinking about it. Oh, that's a cool idea, Carl. I'll think about that. Maybe not at night, but in the morning when I'm awake. That sounds like a great idea. Try to, as long as I don't fall. You know? That's the whole thing. To be able to work on your balance without injuring yourself. Yeah, Johnny, that's so true, man. Have gratitude that, you know, your average American can live to be in their 70s. All right, 2 hours. 2 hours. That's usually our normal live stream length here. So any last second or last minute questions here that you've been dying to ask but haven't, but you're now you see I'm thinking about going, you should ask now. So anything you want to ask. And I think next week we'll kind of get back to normal. I think Uncle will be back. So that's cool. Let's see. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I want to always emphasize, make sure that you have the notifications hit for our channel if you like our content, because a lot of people aren't getting Angie's content and the algorithm's not putting it. Like Angie makes all the shorts, like she made the video about the 7 vegan things she made for Thanksgiving. She made the food and the video for that yesterday. And who brought up about the award wieners that we ate at Disney California Adventure. So make sure, if you like our content, and I'm often in Angie's videos too. But yeah, she makes lots of videos. She makes more than I do. She just doesn't make these kinds of videos. Like, again, it's all about freedom. Everyone should have the freedom to decide how they want to go about doing things in their life, and she just would prefer to make the kinds of videos she does where she's not putting herself out there like me to get attacked by like vegan deterioration and whoever wants to do that sort of like hate type video. So she's just cool, just making vids about food and our little adventures and stuff. And emphasize, they are little adventures. We don't do a whole lot of like big things or anything. Oh, thank you, Ugly Face. Thanks for the super chat tip there. Much appreciated. Thanks for being the vegan. Thanks for being vegan. The animals need us. Angie's short was awesome. Yeah, it was you that brought up the short, right? So yeah, Ugly Face knows. Yeah, so make sure you're following us and have the notifications hit so you can see all of Angie's short content. You're thinking, do I have time? Yeah, that's why they're called shorts. They're like, a minute or less, something like that, so it's not a big deal. All right, guys. So for next week, I should have another regular video. I know Peter sent me a few, so I'm going to take a look at those. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to respond to Joe Rogan a second time, but I just had to because that one came up with him and Elon. But anyway, guys, it was good seeing you all. And we had a weird week. I'm sorry about some of the uncomfortableness of tonight, but, try to get through it and sort it all out, and we did. Oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, guys. Really, thank you so much. I'm glad we can have some time. I told you I don't want to make this a political channel, but I'm glad sometimes when we do have to talk about things that have some kind of political tinge or ramifications, we can try to be civil and open-minded and respectful. And if you can't, you get banned like the guy today, So that's what it's all about, being able to have a discussion and not be insulting and hateful towards others. And, I think we're a pretty diverse bunch here, and we do a pretty good job about that. So I appreciate everyone for all their diversity, all the different, everything we got here, every type of religion, ethnicity, political background, age. We're all here. We're all gathered, and we're united through veganism and good people, good community here. So I appreciate that. All right, guys. So thanks so much. I will get joined back with Angie, figure out some kind of dinner, watch the second half of the Lakers tonight, and I'll know Bill will be watching too. So thanks so much, guys. Much love to you all. Have a happy holidays. Don't get too stressed out, as some of us vegans sometimes do around the holidays. Sometimes is an unpleasant time. There's so many gatherings and foods, and that can be a big thing. But just try our best, and I'll be here on Fridays to help keep you guys calm, and we can all chill out with each other, guys. All right, so much love, peace to y'all, and I will see you next week with another live stream. So much love to everyone, and remember, doesn't suck being vegan. Good night, guys. Thank you.